ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात्कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमहायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सेकेण्ड् मन्त्र पराञ्चिखानि व्यतृणत् स्वयम्भूः तस्मात् परां पश्यति न अन्तरात्मन् कश्चिद्धीरः प्रत्यगात्मानमैक्षत कश्चिद्धीरः प्रत्यगात्मानमैक्षत आवृत्तचक्षुरमृतत्वमिच्छन् आवृतचक्षुः अमृतत्वमिच्छन् desiring amritattva, desiring moksha. Kashit dhiraha, this viveki who has done this purushartha nishchaya, who has done this, what is the goal of life is this, is moksha. Goal of life is freedom. Moksha is freedom. So really speaking, artha is a security, objects of security, but objects of security do not give security. Means it's a wrong pursuit. In fact, I am seeking objects of security because I am feeling insecure. So what I really want is a freedom from insecurity rather than wanting objects of security. What I really want is a freedom from insecurity, not that I am interested in objects of security. But since I'm not able to get rid of the insecurity centered on I am seeking objects of security, thinking that those objects, when they are in vicinity of me, when I possess them, I will become secure. And everyone knows that in this manner, well, the pursuit of security continues. That shows that if you are dependent upon you are looking upon objects as a source of security, even in whatever the measure they are there, they are not going to make me secure. And therefore, I am interested in a freedom from insecurity. I am interested in a moksha, which is central. If I, and well, Shastra says Atma alone is the most secure thing in the world. Because Atma lends existence to everything. Atma is of the nature of existence, and therefore there is no question of that the Atma will become non-existent. Insecurity means, well, something will happen and there is a threat to my security. There is threat to my existence. And therefore, there is no question that I lose existence because I am always in the form of existence. In fact, wherever the existence is, that is me, being Karanam of everything, being Satyam, and Karana alone lends existence to the Karya. Karim is Mithya. Therefore, looking out in objects for becoming a secure is a wrong pursuit. And Shastra, he doesn't have insight, but still he knows a little bit of this, that actually the Purushartha is a moksha, freedom from insecurity, not acquiring objects of security. Therefore, Paranjikani, remaining external, means external pursuits, sense objects. Senses are definitely extrovert and they are designed to be extrovert. That is because ultimately you have to contact the world, you live in the world, and living a life is basically relating to the world. You relate the world through the senses. And therefore, it is very much required. But looking upon them as a source of security and running after them becomes an obstacle. Ultimately, what I'm really, this Dhira who has done this Purushartha Nishchaya, that what I want is a moksha and not this artha. Same way, what I want is a freedom from lack, freedom from smallness, freedom from uneasiness, freedom from insignificance. Not that the so-called objects of pleasure, that's kama. Because objects of pleasure gives you a sense of fullness, right? They give you sense of fullness. But that sense of fullness, I get it even in spite of they are not there, in spite of my desires are not being fulfilled. It's not that whenever I fulfill a desire whenever I get a desired object and I get fullness, happiness, that's not the case. Sometimes you desire an object, that desirable thing has come, but when it has come, it becomes undesirable. You feel that I should not have desired for this. Now I'm stuck with this. And in spite of not fulfilling desire, you still gain a sense of fullness here and there. We saw yesterday. One has an experience. If I just crack a joke and you laugh, you have at least for a moment, you become free from uneasiness centered on I. And you see something beautiful. You see a laughing child lying on the back. There are several occasions when one becomes just happy momentarily, where that time you have not fulfilled any of your desires. Therefore, well, perhaps centered on I, well, I have to, I mean, there should be, I should have a proper knowledge of myself. Perhaps a freedom from insecurity or freedom from insignificance may not be an external goal. That is, there's goal centered on oneself, knowing oneself. Pratyagatmanam aikshata. So this is how. So this kind of a viveka is there, is arisen when he analyzes this, when he does this homework, etc. This person is called a dhiraha. He has this purushartha nishchaya. And so desiring moksha, etc. Well, person does varieties of the things which we call as a krityam, varieties of the things he does. And well, endless fears are there in this world to contribute to, etc. And and you do that and you become happy. Well, that is not the case. You become happy, fulfilled even without that also. You have those experiences where you have not done several projects, you have not completed several projects which are there, agenda in your mind, yet you are happy. Therefore, to gain a fulfillment, one has to do a lot of things. One has to contribute to the various projects. Need not be. Need not be. Fulfillment may not be something which is to be achieved. Fulfillment is something is to be understood, centered on I. Because if that kind of experience is not there, centered on I, then well, definitely it is to be achieved. right? It is to be achieved from the external world, but that's not the case. So, only way to pick up happiness occasionally, in spite of these endless things to be done, well, in spite of your omissions and commissions, well, other and means the guilt and others' omissions and commissions, hurts, etc. You have enough moments to prove that in order to be acceptable to yourself, which happens, of course, in experience of happiness, you need not achieve anything. In spite of your guilt, in spite of your hurt, you are seeing yourself momentarily free from all that. In, of course, deep sleep state, you become free, but let's not go into that. In a waking state itself, you have so many omissions and commissions, and you are feeling guilty. Others' omissions and due to others' omissions and commission, basically, you are feeling hurt. In spite of all guilt and hurt, momentarily you see become free from that, where you accept yourself. With guilt and hurt, you cannot accept yourself, but you see yourself free from that momentarily. That itself proves that they are really not centered on I. Well, I judge based on guilt and hurts that I'm guilty, etc. I'm hurt. But that may not be true. If that is the reality, I would never become free from that. If that is my nature, I would not become free from that. But I do see certain moments. Of course, in deep sleep state, I become free so long as I sleep. And I also become free when I meet my friend and I talk happily with them. All those guilts and hurts as though are covered. You see yourself a happy guy, totally acceptable to yourself. That proves that may be the reality. And you may be committing a mistake of judging yourself based on the guilts and hurts. They are there, but not in the self, perhaps, because you are able to shade off them. You are able to shade them, right? You are able to keep them away. If you anything which is you are able to keep it away from yourself means you are free. But you follow what I'm saying? Ah. Therefore, to be acceptable to myself, I have to be dependent upon world. I have to achieve a lot of things in the world. Well, and so then society will accept me. The social norm is my norm. No, your norm is created by you. That's what I told yesterday. You have created your norm. That these are the things means I'm not acceptable to myself. Yeah. With your own experiences. Since you have an experience of a total self acceptance in certain moments, you have created a norm. Well, then that is not there. Well, this situation is something in which I am not able to accept myself, because that experience of a self acceptance itself, in light of that, that's your height, and that you come back because it's just a momentary joy, etc. When you come back, definitely you judge yourself based on that. Oh, those were the moments where I was totally happy, full, totally acceptable to myself. Now this is a situation, well, I'm not. So that is your norm. But while not knowing, well, you think the society has given the norm. Society, when it says, well, you are acceptable in the society because you have money, you have power, you have certain knowledge, you have certain beauty. And then I say, well, that becomes my norm. Oh. When society, with their norm, social norms, accepts me, then I accept myself. Really speaking, it's not true. You have already established a norm for yourself that these are the experiences in which I'm not able to accept myself. Like omissions and commission, definitely you will not. If you omit something which is to be done, you will not accept yourself. If you commit something, well, which is not to be done, if you omit something, what is to be done? Then, and you have not done it, you reject yourself. If you commit something, what is not to be done, and you do it, you reject yourself. And you have also experiences where you shed off all this omissions and commission, and you become happy. Otherwise, a moment of happiness will not arise. It arises means you are able to shade them off. Am I right? Ah. So then that becomes a norm. That's your height. Once you know your height, you cannot settle for anything less than that. Hmm. And therefore, in fact, you validate the society. You take it so seriously. You validate the society. And once you validate, you accept them, then they, whatever they say, you accept. You validate a psychotherapist, and then a psychotherapist validates you. You validate. Oh, he's a really nice Swami. This fellow, this person is a so nice. He gives a very good treatment and this and that. So you accept the person, validates him. And then whatever he says, you accept. It's all catch 22. Anyonya Ashraya. No. This Dhiraha knows now that this experience of non-acceptance of myself may not be true. If that is a reality, the smallness is a reality, insignificance is a reality, the wanting being is a reality, then in that case, I will be a wanting being all the time, in all the experiences. But no. And if that is the case, you will not have a norm. Yesterday I gave you example of a coffee. Of course, it's a Puja Swamiji's example. You can give your opinion about a coffee once you have tasted many types of coffee. Then you say, this coffee particular is a good for me, right? You have a same coffee if you are taking every day, suppose, same coffee, not any other brand, one coffee only. Then you cannot say this coffee is good. Could you follow? When you have variety of experiences, then you say, well, I don't like this Gujarat coffee. Yeah. So you have both the types of experiences. Total self-acceptance like a deep sleep state or a moment of joy in a waking state and self non-acceptance in other situations. Or that's how you judge yourself, right? You have a norm for yourself. Anyway, so basically, so I need not achieve anything because without effort, without will, if I am able to accept myself in a moment of joy, that proves that it is my nature. It's a possibility, not a totally. He's not confirmed. He will once he gains knowledge and that then becomes a reality. But it's a window. It's a window, actually. Yeah. Once the window comes, this person starts doing a viveka. Yeah. Oh, really speaking, what I'm really searching is nowhere else. Is right here. Obtains in those moments of joy or in experience of deep sleep state, total fullness, no dimension. That's how everyone loves sleep, where you don't fulfill any desire. No objects of your desire are around. To fulfill those desires, the body, mind, senses are also not around. Therefore, nobody can tell that I am, Swamiji, I am fulfilling desire in a deep sleep state, but, in a very, very, in a crude or in a very subtle way, I am fulfilling. Therefore, I am becoming happy there. No, the very instruments through which you fulfill desire, they themselves are now absent. You are there, and joy is there, nothing else. No sense of insignificance. All this homework, if one does, one becomes Viveki. Oh, freedom from the insignificance, freedom from this lack, freedom from self non acceptance lies, is centered on I. Maybe I am a problem. When I take myself as an insignificant being, I am the solution because I see myself as a totally acceptable being, significant being, full being. Fullness and happiness goes together. Okay. Yeah. When you see yourself full without a lack means you are happy. When you are happy, well, then you are definitely accepting yourself. This all is same thing. Anyway, so therefore I need not achieve anything. I need not change anything. I don't need to get rid of anything. There is no positive, basically, there is no pravritti positive pursuit or nivrutti. I should not negate anything. I should not go away from anything, etc. Nothing is required. All that is required is me. All that is involved in this pursuit is me, nothing else. So, therefore, basically, Shruti says, Antaratmanam na pashyati. It is there's not a lamentation on the part of a Shruti. Oh, nobody is coming here, only few, etc. No lamentation. It is Shruti wants to draw your attention for recognizing a truth of yourself in spite of your limited body, limited memory, certain limitations of parentage, limitations of your knowledge, limitations of your money, in spite of everything, right? They are there and you become happy, right? They are there and you accept yourself. Well, therefore, there is no bearing on these external pursuits. No bearing on, please understand this is very, very important mantra. Paranchikhani Vetruna Swayambhu is the most important mantra. Very much quoted by all the acharyas. So, Antaratmanam na pashyati. Oh, nobody sees this self for what uh, for 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 what the purpose for what the person wants to be. One has to see the self, not one has to acquire externally. And in that case, once this kind of a viveka is there, then your body, your mind, your free will, your memory, your senses are just luxury. No, Swamiji, they are given to gain this fullness. No, no, sir. You are already full, which you experience, right? In moment of joy. Therefore, all this is given to you as just a luxury. Body, mind, senses, memory, knowledge, your intellect, everything is just luxury, privilege. Yeah. So this particular discrimination of knowledge with the help of a exposure to the teaching or without help. Well, definitely. Without help, Swamiji, how will person know? Your own certain grace you have earned in your past can also give you this insight. Some triggering point may be there, but that gives you an insight into this. And sometimes this kind of a viveka arises, purushartha viveka arises after you are exposed to this teaching in form of a reading a book or in form of a listening some public talk, anything, or somebody, some person, a friend of you also can give insight. You are talking to him over a phone, you are talking to him over a lunch, anything. And therefore, one thing is there, this shubhecha, this kind of a, you begin seeking now the self, means that second step will come. So we are going to say this desiring, Amrutattam Ichan, this desiring is of two stages. One is a desiring moksha, not desiring arthakama now, right? For this person, due to viveka. That's the first desiring moksha. And then once you desire moksha, to gain moksha, one has to see oneself. Because that's a self which is free from everything, free from insecurity, etc. So that's a second level of desire. Desiring in knowledge of Atma. Right? So desiring moksha first. So Amrutattam Ichan, and then definitely Pratyega Atmanam Ikshat. So there also desiring to know oneself, Pashyati, then he will definitely seize, he will recognize oneself as the free from all this. What he was seeking is actually is oneself. What he was seeking is security. Well, I am the secure self. What what I am seeking outside is all objects of joy for the sense of fullness. Well, that full self I am, etc. Therefore, it's something very, very unusual that what the seeker itself is a sort. Yeah, the seeker itself is a sort. And well, like the water, I mean, it requires a certain grace, but like water requires a certain horsepower to go up. Water does not require any horsepower to find its own level to go to the ocean, etc. So to go against that swabhavika pravritti, everyone is born is ultimately seeking security and fullness, happiness. But running out, swabhavika pravritti, naturally be extrovert. Because ajnanam is there. There is no cause for ajnanam. We'll be discussing. There is no cause for ajnanam. One cannot ask for the cause of ajnanam. Why there is ajnanam? We cannot ask. We'll see that. But anyway, and therefore ajnanam is there. Therefore you are born with this kind of a thing. Looking out for this. Yeah. Some person, well, definitely. So all the rivers are flowing towards their own level, towards the ocean. But some river is turning back to the source, or to take it to the higher level. It requires a horsepower. Same way, here it requires a horsepower to go back to the source. And that horsepower is nothing but the grace of Ishvara. Yeah. Grace of Ishvara will give you this shubhecha, will give you this desire to seek moksha rather than arthakama dharma, because one is seeking moksha only through arthakama dharma. So desiring moksha first, ichan, and then definitely now to gain moksha, he knows I should know myself. Enough experiences are there. Shastra is there. There is apatata jnanam, something you have read on the airport, something somebody has told something, you listen some public talk of somebody, and you now, with all this, or you are born in a certain culture, like India. You're born in a certain culture, you have heard all this kind of thing, moksha and this and Atma Jnanam and the wise people and all that. Person has heard. It's not that we are totally not familiar with. We are familiar with. In spite of being not, we have come to Vedanta. We know all this, moksha, etc. What is it really, the gaining the clarity regarding what is the moksha, regarding what is this Atma Jnanam? That's a different thing. But in general, there are people, wise people, Mahatmas, etc. All this we are born with. So all this gives rise to this Shubhecha, Shubha Icha. And Shubha Icha is a Moksha Icha. Because all his efforts now will be towards knowing oneself, but towards oneself. Na antaratmanam pashyati. So basically the people who are extrovert, they don't see. But the dhiraha now, who has this Shubhecha, will definitely know. And so this for Shubhecha to be born, Mokshecha to be born, definitely you need a horsepower because you're going towards the source, right? Yeah. And therefore, that horsepower is grace. That's how we always say prayer. One side knowledge, other side prayer. Yeah. You have come here for gaining moksha, exposing to the teaching, but then till you gain the clarity, well, what gives you boost, what gives you horsepower is the grace, which is through prayers. Yeah. And therefore, it is not to be rejected. Without when rejecting Ishvara, there is no. I don't think one lands into this ultimately gaining clarity. Difficult, very difficult. One needs grace. Grace is your own earning, basically. And definitely, you are spending every day. More and more you are exposed to this. That's all Purva Punya Vashat. Huh? So you are spending your own earnings. Then you have to have a earning more because it will be exhausted. So one has to earn also. It's intelligent living. A religious life, a life which is connected to Ishvara and in which there are prayers, etc. And you don't want anything else. You are dhiraha, you are viveki, you don't want anything else from Ishvara. You just want knowledge. Jignasu is a bhakta, right? Jignasu is a bhakta. Artho Artharthi Jignasu, then you become Gnani. That's a different thing. So very Jignasu also is a Bhakta, and he is surrendering to Lord for gaining grace, horsepower. Going back to the source needs a lot of effort. That is natural, swabhavika pravritti, Bhashakara says. There you don't need anything. No need, no effort on the part of water to go to the down level, sea level, its own level. No, no effort. But to go back to the source needs a lot of effort. And then, so by ichha, mokshecha, now he becomes a dhiraha, not out of curiosity, but out of viveka. And then it is going to give rise to what? Avrutta chakshu. Oh, you automatically, you have, you don't have a interest now in external objects, right? You lose interest. Yeah. Because when you see something very big, what is small really becomes small for you. When you don't have an insight into what is big, the small becomes big. When you have insight into what is big, then the small, what is small, becomes small for you. That's what it is. Because through Artha also you are seeking freedom from insecurity. Through these objects of pleasure also you are seeking fullness. You know now some insight that maybe I am free from everything, free from insecurity, free from this insignificance, maybe, because my own experiences prove, and also Shastra and culture and this and that. Well, then you do viveka that really speaking, I want to have a moksha rather than arthakama, etc. And then you become avrutta chakshu. You become withdrawn. You are with yourself. Withdrawn means basically not turning inside. You cannot turn in senses inside. I'm turning my senses inside. That's how Bhashakara is going to say avruttam is vyavruttam. Avruttam is covering. You cover all. No, no, no. Vyavruttam, withdrawn. Anyway, then further, Bhashakara says now, evam swabhave, evam swabhave api sati lokasya kashit nadyaha प्रतिस्रोत प्रवर्तनम इव धीरः धीमान् विवेकी प्रत्यगात्मानं प्रत्यक्ष असौ आत्मा च इति प्रत्यगात्मा प्रतिच्येवात्मशब्दः रूढ़ः लोके न अन्यस्मिन्. Evam, in this manner, even though there is a natural pursuit for on the part of every individual, lokasya svabhave api, evam svabhave api. Even though, well, in this manner, even though the people, whoever are born, all the individuals, jivas, they have this pursuit, external pursuits only. Lokasya is a, basically collective singular. Any individual or the people in general, the humanity. So, well, if even this is so, but I mean, one wants to have a well-being of oneself, and one has to make by one's well-being by being dependent upon the world. Looks like so. To physical well-being. Well, definitely, for that you need to have a dependence on the world. You cannot. Physical well-being will be also centered on I only. No. Physical well-being means physical body should be healthy, etc. You have to be dependent on the external world. So that way, that independence is not there. But one can free oneself from inadequacy. Yeah. For getting rid of inadequacy, which is centered on I, you need not depend upon. You need not fulfill certain desires of external objects, or you need not even get rid of certain objects. Well, because you are not inadequate. You are adequate self, but you do not know. Right? So that's what it is. So freedom from inadequacy, moksha, well, basically is centered on I. For that, you need not depend upon external world. That's how this person becomes vyavritta chakshu. So only what is required is a viveka in your mind, nothing else. Viveka between purushartha, four purushartha, viveka between moksha and the rest of them. Rest of them are on one side. Stay well, but all of them, well, you are interested in because ultimately for moksha only. Yeah. You are not interested in the objects of security. You are interested in freedom from insecurity. I told you are not there, but I just told that. So Nadyaha, then okay, lokasya, evam svabhave api, evam lokasya svabhave api sati, even this being so that the people are generally external, whoever is born, but what they want is only this, moksha only. So, kashit nadyaha pratisrotah pravartanam iva, like a river. There's a two-way, it has been seen here. A river which flows finding its own level. Suppose it has to go towards its own source, like they call Uttar Vahini, Pashchima Vahini, like they call. And so, like even Ganges, even Narmada, even Kaveri, they are going in a natural direction, right, toward the sea level, their its own level, going down. But at some place they again turn towards the source because of topography. Certain mountain, etc., is there. Then for it stuck there, then it definitely turns towards its source and then goes. And it has happened that like Ganges, Ganga, Ganges. I think it's British. Anyway, so this Ganga well basically turns like that near Allahabad, near Varanasi. So near Varanasi, I'm sorry. Then near Haridwar also. And so when it turns twice, it turns towards, it is going, Ganga is going towards basically Paschima. But it becomes Uttaravahini. From north it comes and goes towards the Bay of Bengal. I'm the Purva, I'm sorry. So therefore, but it turns towards its own source, turns towards north. When it turns towards north twice, then in between the piece of land, right, it turns towards north. Then again it flows, again turns towards north. In between the piece of land becomes a sacred place, becomes tirtha kind of a thing. That's how Haridwar and Rishikesh, Varanasi, all these, that's where they found that this is how it turns towards north and again flows towards east. Again it turns. So like that. But anyway, so same way, so Nadyaha pratisrota pravartanam, pratisrota. So going towards its own source, towards, prati means towards, pratisrota means towards its own source. Whatever be this source, maybe could be a Western Ghats or anything. Here, of course, Himalaya for Ganges. For Narmada, it is a Western Ghats, etc. Anyway, so same way, so this person, this Upalabdha, also turned towards himself, right? Towards the source, turned towards himself. So he questions now, am I the solution? And yes, I am the solution for the problem what I am facing. The solution is not lying there. Solution is the centered on I. Therefore, it turns towards himself, like that river. Yeah. And that's how, that's how pursuit begins. Pursuit of self begins. Like we were talking yesterday. So why are you attending these classes? Oh, I have a pursuit of self, pursuit of knowing self. Then everybody laughs. Hey, you don't know yourself. Everyone knows oneself. You also know yourself. You are going to pursue this with a total commitment. Yeah, total commitment is what? Lifelong commitment to know oneself. Yeah, you are foolish. Nobody does this kind of a thing. Neither our forefathers did it. And therefore, go by beaten track. Don't do this kind of a things. It's madness. Pursuit of a self, knowing self, realizing, yeah, pursuit of realizing, self-realization is a pursuit of mad person. Okay? Nobody does this. Everyone has a swabhavika pravritti. Whoever is born, gain education, and then once study is over, gain job, and then married, and then children, and then raising the children, and then getting them married, and then taking care of their grandsons, daughters, and all that, and then go to the ocean. That's it. That's it. It's a beaten track. One has to do that. Okay, we should do that. Fine. But what you desire at the beginning, did you fulfill? Do you see yourself a secure self? No. Do you see yourself a adequate self? A self which with a fullness, with a fulfillment? No. Then what's purpose of this beaten track? Yeah. Because you are searching something which was not there. What you are searching is really speaking the nature of oneself. Therefore, you have to turn towards yourself. Could you follow? Ah. And no one has achieved. Being external, extrovert, no one has gained security even at the end of the life. The person at the age of 85, 90 also is equally insecure. Only thing, so-called addition, is that at the age of 25, whatever I was not having, now I am having. Age of 25, I was not having a balance of $1 million. Now I'm having a balance of $1 million. That time I was not having a house. Now I'm having a house. I did not have any job at that time, no children, no marriage. Now I'm having a children, grandchildren, everything. I'm not having a certain recognition in the society. I was not having before. Now I'm having. I was not having education. Now I'm having. But with all this, yet the person is the same. Person is same. Therefore, not lamentation, may you recognize. Nantaratmanam pashyati is not a lamentation. It's to make you see that, see here for what you are searching. Yeah. It's a misplaced search. Misplaced search. What you are searching in the place where it is not. But where it is, give me in a one-line answer why it is not outside what I am seeking. Hey, the whole world is insecure, is time bound. You want to be a timeless or you want to be secure. So then acquiring what is insecure, you can never become secure. The money itself is insecure. That's how you take care of the money. If money is secure and your security is dependent upon money, in that case, you have not to worry about money because money is a source of security. If you are trying to make your money secure through certain investments and all, money should tell you, and perhaps it should tell you with a lot of anger that why you bother about me. I am giving you security. I am a source of security. You have not to worry about my security. But you take care because you know if you don't take care of your money, you will lose money. Yeah. And money just goes like this. Lakshmi stoya tarang banga chapala vidyut chalam jeevitam, etc. But Lakshmi stoya tarang banga chapala. Like a taranga, toya taranga, the water wave. How much life it has. Chapalam, it comes to the ocean, it has arisen. Within no time, it comes to the shore, gone. Today is Lakshmi with you, and in terms of certain shareholdings, and tomorrow morning you open the computer, you saw $1 million you lost because of this war. All your investment has gone. Earlier we were able to say you are millionaire. Now you are not able. You're shying, right? That's what it is. Where is security? Anything which is secure will never go away, will ever remain. In fact, you go out and you see that your money, which is in form of a cash, dollars, etc., you put it in a house of somewhere, so that nobody would see. Yeah. In fact, more you have a possession of lot of money. In fact, that gives you more worry how to make money secure. You know, that's so. What is the thing? A single thing in the world which really promises and fulfills the promise of giving you security. Tell me one thing. No. Somebody, my wife, sir. If that is the case, you are really worrying. You know, they discuss after certain age. They start discussing. Before that, also person goes there, but after certain age, you start discussing. Yeah, who will go first? And in absence of the other, what other one will do? Right? Hmm. What anything which is time bound is there today, may not be tomorrow, may not be next moment. Then how can you rely on a thing for your security which itself is insecure? It's like sitting on a cardboard chair. The chair which looks like this wooden chair, sometimes they make them, but it's a cardboard chair. And you are trying to lean it or trying to sit it. What will happen? That would be the case. Therefore, paranchikhani vyatrunat. Could you follow? Nantaratmanam pashyati. I'm going back again and again because this is all very important. Anyway, so kasyit diraha pratyega atmanam, basically. So here, this swabhavika pravrutti, that's what I was talking. Swabhavika pravrutti is there, which is not there in his case. He is nivrutta from this swabhavika pravrutti. Really, nivrutta is not a marga actually, not a path, because since we call pravrutti as a marga, pravrutti marga, external, marga towards senses, etc., towards sense objects, we call nivrutti as a marga. Anyway, person goes toward something else. Here, person goes towards himself. So, pravrutti marga means person goes towards something else. Nivrutti means person goes towards himself, basically. Because self is something else, distinct from all these kind of objects, which are time bound. And something else is also self only if it is known. What you call as something else, well, also is a self if it is known. Otherwise, there are two things, self and non self. So, going towards oneself is a nivritti marga. Going towards non self, something else, is a pravritti marga. And it requires, well, definitely needs a horsepower, grace. Yeah. So Kashit Dhiraha Pratyega Atmanam. That Pratyag alone is a Atma now. He is explaining. Pratyakcha asau Atma cha. Bhashakara explains this. We keep saying Pratyega Atma, but he explains Pratyakcha asau Atma cha. So Pratyag alone is Atma. Inner alone is Atma. We generally take Putra and the body and etc. as Atma. Putra also we have eye sense, even though really it's a mamakara only, but since we say body as atma, then we extend through body whatever has come, this putra etc., son etc., we have I sense in them. Yeah. So when putra achieves something, you feel you have achieved. When putra becomes failure, you feel you are failure. That way. Yeah. But putra is sick, and then you feel you are sick. Yeah. You're not happy. Even if you go to office, you're not happy there. People also ask you, what has happened to you? If nothing has happened to you, it has happened to your child, but it is as though has happened to you. So therefore, we can say putra, atma, etc. is also, putra, deha, etc. also is atma. So atma is taken, and that is true. Everything is atma. But atma is taken as deha, sangata. This is dismissed by saying pratyakcha also atma cha. If you think atma is this deha, no, pratyak. So, pratyak means what? Inner. Inner means what? You can go so far and not further. Adhisthana. That's it. You can go so far, inner and not further. Hey, what are you speaking all this? I'll explain it, don't worry. So, all this, and this has been very beautifully described in Brahmanandali. Anyontaraatma, right? Savaeshah Purushah Annarasamaya. Because ultimately everything has come from the Atma, that is Brahman. Tasmadva etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhutah. Akashad vayuhu. Vayoho agnihi. Agnehe apah. Ad adbyah prithvi. Prithvyam oshadayah. Oshadibhyah annam. Annat purushah. The food which has been eaten by a woman and man, ultimately it converts into a seed, and from that it has come this. But all this ultimately food has come from what? Food has come from the all plants and vegetables and all. That has come from what? That has come from the earth. It's all modification of earth. Earth has come from what? Water. Water has come from what? Fire. Fire has come from what? Air. Air has come from what? Space. Space has come from what? Tasmad va etasmad atmanah akasha sambhut. Tasmad brahmanah etasmad atmanah. From this Brahmatma alone, all these have manifest. Therefore, this is Brahmatma. Body is Atma. Fine. Therefore, Atma is body. That's not fine. Why? Why that's not fine? Anyantaratma pranamaya. So you think Annamaya is Atma, that is okay. But Atma is Annamaya? No. Anyaha antaraha. Which what is inside and which pervades this body called prana, that is Atma. Don't say Atma is this. Pranamaya is Atma. Prana is Atma. Okay, okay, Prana is Atma. Fine. No, 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 no. Anyantaratma. Look at that inner, so-called inner, not physically. Please, I will explain. Right? Inner. So we feel that it's like a layers of a onion. Let me remove one by one. And I will may find some jam inside. Nothing comes out. When cabbage also, it is the same thing. You remove the layer after layer of cabbage. I have done it. This is a mad person. I have removed once. And even that, what is that? Not what we call, we use it in salads. Lettuce. Oh, you. Even lettuce is a better example than cabbage. Nothing. You remove one by one by one. It's all water there. In fact, that is also water, most of them. You don't find anything inside. So Annamaya, outer layer, gone. Anyaha, Antaraha, Pranamaya. Oh, Atma is Anyaha, other than this physical body, and which is inside, Pranamaya. Anyantaratma, Manomaya. No, 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 Pranamaya is not Atma. Means Atma is not Pranamaya, I'm sorry. Because everything has come from ultimately Atma. Therefore, everything is Atma. But Atma is not that. Yeah. Atma is something you have to go in ultimately. Anyaha antaraha Atma manomaya. Anyaha antaraha Atma vijnanamaya. Karta, ahankara, etc. Anyantaratma anandamaya. Bhokta. In terms of body, well, Annamaya is gross body, the Manomaya, Pranamaya, and Vijnan. Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanmaya is a subtle body, and Anandamaya is a Karana Sharira. In terms of body, three bodies. In terms of Kosha, Panchakosha. Anyway, so Anyantaratma Anandamaya, very Bhokta, which etc. is. No, no, but then there is there. Brahmapucham Pratishtha, Ananda Atma, Brahmapucham Pratishtha. Anandamaya also has a pratishtha, the very basis. Anandamaya exists. Anandamaya is experienced. Anandamaya is known, objectified in, in presence of something which is ever there, which is this witness consciousness or consciousness. Right? Brahmapucham pratishtha, that is the Brahman, that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is the pratishtha of this Anandamaya. and pratishtha of everything, ultimately. That's from, because that is the basis. From that which is the Atma, the Brahman which is the Atma, the whole thing has come. Therefore, the basis will be that Karana. Karana is the Adhishthanam. Therefore, this Atma is Brahman. This witness consciousness is Brahman ultimately, because it's the cause of everything. And therefore, Atma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Being a cause of everything, everything is Atma. But Atma is basically distinct from everything. Atma is distinct from everything. Atma is just pure consciousness, which is limitless, which is just existence, in which, well, basically all these koshas, etc., have existence. They are objectified, they shine, etc. So that is called Sarvantaraha, Sarvasya Adhishthanam. That's a Pratyatma, for which everything is objectified. What is objectified is generally taken outer. One who objectifies is taken inner. So that is the Atma which objectifies everything, which objectifies your mind, objectifies your emotion, your memory, your doubt, your knowledge. What you know, you know. It objectifies your ignorance. You know what you don't, you know what you don't know also. What are the emotions? Every emotion is known to you. Memory is known to you. Your doubts are known to you. Your perceptions are known to you. Your hunger, thirst, prana known to you. Your physical body is known to you. All is known, known, known. Even you are a seer right now is known to you. Ahankara is also known. I am a hearer right now is known to you. Wow. This is self-revealing. Could you follow what I'm saying? Self-revealing consciousness, which reveals everything, which objectifies everything naturally. Naturally. You just objectify. That's it. That's the inner self, which is the subject. Yeah, everything else is an object. Anything which is object is taken outer. The subject is taken inner. This is the subject, most inner self called Pratyagatma. Inner self. Don't think in terms of opening, or layer by layer, physically. Hey, that is Anantam. Huh? Everything is Atma, which is Purnam. And therefore, there is no question of finding after 5 layers. After five layers, if you find, that is even smaller than each layer, right? It may be Anu. No. So Brahma Pucham Pradishta. Or Anandamaya, what the Atma is Brahman. Anyway, Ananda Atma, etc. So that proves basically you are distinct from the body. And but you said, Swami, one person told, you said everything is Atma, right? Yeah. Deha is Atma, this body is Atma? Yeah, body is Atma. Hey, that's what I was telling. I need not have come here. That's I was telling, that Atma is body. That's how I take care of the body. Could you follow? I take care of the body. If you say you take care of the body, itself proves you are distinct from the body. Like you take care of the cows. You are caretaker. You take care of anything. Means you know. Why do you need to take care of it? Oh no, I know my body. I have to take care of it. Over. I know my body. I have to take care of it. Over. Just as person takes care of the cows, takes to the pond for bath, etc. You also every morning give a bath, apply something, this, that, etc. All you do. Knowing you do. You know the difference also. That's how you do, in fact. You know that if I don't do, I will be like this. That also you know. Knowing certain things, applying certain things, I will be looking like this. That also you know. You are a knower of a body. Body is known. Knower can never be known. Known is known. Knower is knower. And therefore, if you say, that, well, I say Deha is Atma and therefore I take care of the body. That's what you also say. But yes, when you say I take care of the body, definitely I'm distinct from the body. Over. Right? So, because of Abhimana, Adhyasa, etc., well, even though body is Atma, Atma is not body. If someone says Atma is body, definitely body is superimposed upon Atma. Right? So, if you say, well, the snake is rope, that's fine. But if you say rope is a snake, definitely you have superimposed snake upon rope. So rope has gone. All that is there is snake. All that is there is snake. Therefore, all that is there as yourself is nothing but the body. The real self, which is the adhishthanam of all the panchakoshas, which is witness consciousness, is gone. Deha is Atma, still you are a free self. Deha is Atma, body is Atma, prana is Atma, hunger, thirst is Atma, memory is Atma, emotions are Atma, doubts are Atma, ahankara is Atma, fine. At, if you say this much, you are free. But if you say Atma is body, you are bound, samsari. The Atma, which is limitless, you have taken it as a very limited, time bound body. And therefore, you feel now that bondage. You say, I am a time bound. I'm how many years, Swamiji, now I will live? Only few years. Yeah. You say that. So therefore, Atma is Deha, is a bondage. Deha is Atma, body is Atma, and everything else is Atma. You are still free self. Yeah, that's how it is. Therefore, Puja Swamiji always used to say, A is not B, B is A. Body is Atma, B, body, A, Atma. Puja Swami used to be an actor, etc. This is better. Body is Atma. Atma is not body. Atma is Atma. Just consciousness. Free from everything. When it is free from everything, it doesn't have any limitations, so called limitless consciousness, basically, which is free from even transcending the time. It is timeless, basically. So, in the sense side, this is what Pratyagatma is. Pratyakcha asau atmacha. And when you say B is A, body is Atma, Atma is not body, automatically body is become mithya, Atma is Satyam, right? Which is not available for negation. Okay, further. Pratichi eva Atma Shabdaha Rudaha Loke na Anyasmin. Same. In that, yeah, in the Evam Svabhave Api, in that itself, we read that. We read that para. In that, the last line. Other things I explained, right? Pratyagatmanam, pratyakchaso atma cha iti pratyagatma. Up to that, I completed. Now I'm taking this. Pratichi eva atma shabdaha rudaha loke na anyasmin. Even in the world, Pashakara says, Atma is always for this aham. Object of I sense is always a pratichi, is inner, within alone. Whenever you want to refer I, you don't pick up this. Oh, I. Whenever you want to refer I, Atma, you always show here, inner, right? So therefore, that way also, Rudaha, in a popular sense also, anybody, even though they don't know really what is the Atma, still when they want to refer I or Atma, they always refer where? Yeah. They never show a pot and say, this is I. So, pratichi eva Atma Shabda hai. In the sense of this inner self, Atma Shabda hai, Rudha. It's very popular. Loke in the world. No, anyasmin. Not in any other thing. Not in the pot and etc. Not in the chair. Showing the chair one doesn't say, this is Atma, this is I. No. So that's how he says. Now he gives a Vyutpatti. So this is a Rudi. Popular meaning also, I or Atma is always inner, Pratyagatma only. We now know what is Pratyagatma, but even in people also, whenever they want to show I, they say like this only. They never show Anyasmin, not anywhere else, not in anything else. Anyasmin is Saptami, not in anything else. Pratichi eva. Pratichi is a seventh case of the Pratyak. So they, in the inner self only, they show as I, Atma. Now further. व्युत्पत्तिपक्षे अपि तत्रैव आत्मशब्दः वर्तते. You may find that I am not, I'm segregating, that you are understanding. यच्च आप्नोति यदा दत्ते यच्च अत्ति विषयान् इह यच्च अस्य संततो भावः तस्मात् आत्मा इति कीर्त्यते इति आत्मशब्द व्युत्पत्ति स्मरणात् इति आत्मशब्द व्युत्पत्ति स्मरणात्. Okay, so Vitpatti. Now, from the derivation of the word Atma also, it is a inner self only, etc. That has been shown. Pratyagatma only has been shown. So, first is a Vitpatti Pakshe api Tatraiva Atma Shabdaha Vartate. Tatraiva. So, the word Atma is Vitpatti Pakshe api. From the standpoint of this etymological derivation of the word, also Vitpatti Pakshe api. Tatraiva Atma Shabdaha Vartate. The word Atma is employed only in the sense of Tatraiva means Tasmin Arthe. In the same sense. In the same sense means what? In the same sense, in the sense of Pratyagatma, in the sense of inner self only. Tatra is equal to, Tatra is a carrying a seventh case meaning. Tatra means there actually, but here Tasmin Arthe, in the same sense, in that sense only. In that sense only means what? In the sense of inner self only. Well, etymologically, when if you derive, well, it leads to that, it gives the meaning, which is nothing but Pratyagatma only. So first is Yacha Apnoti. Yacha Apnoti. Ap means to pervade. Ap or V plus ap. Vyapnoti, apnoti, like that. So Yacha Apnoti, one who pervades everything. Actually, they say a particular suffix is applied for that Atma, ap plus man suffix. It's a very unusual derivation in Panini. But anyway, and that suffix gives a sense of an agent. So, like in English, we have like, a runner. If you supply, it gives a sense of an agent of that particular action. So runner means one who runs. So same way here, up plus man. Somehow it turns to Atma, okay? And that is, that becomes the agent. Atma becomes the agent now. But Atma is in sense of agent. Agent of what? Of that up. Means agent of pervasiveness. Means one who pervades. So therefore, Atma, so that's not fair to say all pervasiveness. No. One who pervades everything is Atma. One who runs is a runner. One who eats is a eater. So that ER gives that sense. Same way, man gives that sense. Up plus man, and then Nakara goes away, then becomes, it's a long derivation. Even I don't know right now. I've forgotten everything. So nice, Swamiji, you have forgotten. It's good for our sake. So, so basically, Atma means an agent. Agent of what? Up. Pervading. Means he pervades everything. Agent. One who pervades everything is Atma. Apnoti sarvam iti Atma. Vyapnoti sarvam iti Atma. So if you say the body is I, right? That is fine because I pervade even the body. But if you say I am body, then in that case, as a body, you cannot pervade everything. Could you follow? But when you say you pervade everything, including this body, therefore body is Atma. But if you say I am body, means then you are a limited, you pervade only this, or you are this body. In that case, you are not pervading everything. Could you follow? Therefore, as a you pervade everything, therefore you pervade even this body. You pervade mind. You pervade senses. You pervade your doubts. You pervade your memory. You pervade even ahankara. Right? You pervade even I thought. You pervade everything because that's what it is. Therefore, you can say everything is Atman. Like water pervades all the waves. Then I can say every wave is water. But water is wave. No, don't say that. Water is wave means that limited wave only. Then where there is no wave, there is no water because water is wave. So in a ocean there are waves, but there is a place where there is no wave, but yet water. Could you follow? Therefore, every wave is water, but water is not wave. Therefore, same way, every body, every mind, every sense organ, and what is there in the mind, right? Intellect, a decision faculty, ahankara, this, that, pervades everything. Therefore, one who pervades everything is Atma. Then second, yada datte, it has this da dhatu is there, dharane. Yada datte. Da dharane means to sustain. So one who sustains everything. So I think da is a third conjugation, dadati, etc., the forms. Where yada datte, one who sustains everything. First has come what? This is etymological meaning of word Atma. One who pervades everything is Atma first. Then one who sustains everything is Atma. So, well, basically, if you say I am body, then you don't sustain anything. Even as a body, if you think you are a body, you are not sustaining even your pet dog. Okay, you are not able to sustain. Eh, I am sustaining my pet dog. क्या बात है? You like that dog so much. My God, people love their dogs and cats. But I am more familiar with the dogs here. I see all kinds of pet dogs, beautiful dogs. Yeah, I am a sustainer of this dog. क्या बात है? You don't sustain even your body. Okay? You don't sustain your own body. You say you are body, but you are not able to sustain. Yeah. One day you leave the body. If you leave the body, you are not body. I know, no. This is me. This is mine. If it is yours, what is yours, nobody can take away. If you are owner of a given thing, nobody can challenge because you're owner. But the day comes when, you know, you have to vacate the body. You have to vacate. You want to be in this body because it's a beautiful house, Swami. It's a beautiful house. I have very good surroundings, good family, good place, good house. In that time, living in this house. And this is me, this is mine. Me and mine goes within no moment. Swamiji, I was talking to that person 5 minutes ago. Where is the person to whom I was talking? Body is right there. Where is the person? Where it has gone? He was listening to me. Where is that listener now? Gone. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to someone else who has said, enough. I have given you this body, this house, to stay for a length of time. I will give you a new body. Don't worry. This is a very old one, making a lot of noises. The old houses, doors and everything. Everything. Anything you open or close. It's Same with this body also, getting up and sitting down, making a lot of noise. Even if it is making noise inside, but you make from here. Oh, wow. So nice. You get a new. This material which is there in the body will be recycled. Mm. It's all potatoes and brinjals, right? That goes back to the earth. New, and you get a new body from another potatoes and brinjals which your parents have eaten. Yeah, it's all recycling. Fresh body altogether. We should be thankful because he's giving new body every time. How about Swamiji? But I will not be in the same body, right, Swamiji? May not be the human body, right, Swamiji? Yeah, yeah. Could be. But wish that you always get this kind of a body because, human body, I mean, because you are on the path of spirituality. Bhagwan's assurance is there that I give him a swarga and then later, well, definitely, अथवा बहुनामेव भवे कुले भवति धीमतां शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे, right? शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे अथवा योगिनामेव कुले. So definitely yoginam kule you will be born or Srimatam, very wealthy and very people who are very refined, having good samskaras also. Ah, there are families which are rich and at the same time which are really very cultured. There are families in India. Yeah. So you will be born there. Bhagavan said, have a faith in it. So anyway, this is just by the way. So you are talking too much about Atma, so be in between something. Okay. So second is a yadadatte, one who sustains everything. But you can't if you say I'm body, you can't sustain anything. You want to sustain a certain thought, certain mood, right? You want to sustain certain mood of your mind. That also you are not able to sustain. And therefore you are not body. That's it. Please take that way. I am body, I am body. No, yadadatte, one who sustains everything is you. If you tell yourself as a body, you are not able to sustain anything. Adbhakshane then. Yacha atti. One who is essence of all experiences. Yeah. Without you, no experience is possible. No experience is away from you, and no experience leaves even a trace on you. You are a Teflon coated plate. No experience is without you. Any experience, the truth of the entire experience is you. Whole. You are whole. No, I am a Swamiji, experiencer. You are object of experience. Over. I am experiencer. You are object of experience away from me. And there is a thought of you in my mind. So experiencer, experience, an object of experience. Three are there different from each other. No, sir. No one is away from you, the consciousness. Experiencer cannot be away from consciousness. Experiencer is a conscious being. No experience, the very thought is away from consciousness because that thought is nothing but a cognition, right? It's not a thought, inner thought. It is giving you knowledge. You are getting a knowledge of the object through through the cognition. So if that cognition means a thought plus consciousness, so no thought is away from consciousness. You, an object, you say object of knowledge. Right? That object cannot be away from consciousness. Object of knowledge, you say, object of consciousness. Yeah. So definitely when you are seeing me, then Swami is in your consciousness. Could you follow what I'm saying? Therefore, all these three are not away from consciousness. They cannot exist without you, the consciousness. They are existent in your existence of consciousness. So the whole experience is consciousness, and that goes away. No experience is away from your consciousness, and no experience leaves any trace. Like you are seeing, seer, object of sight, and the very seeing experience, they all go. Now you say, I'm a hearer, different experience. And the sound which is heard of Swami's words, and you have a Shabda Vritti, right? Cognition here of the sound. There you don't find any trace of that seer and sight and everything. Suppose you are closing your eyes and now hearing me. Well, now in that consciousness, you don't find that sight and everything. Still Swami's picture is coming there. No, no. What I'm saying is, any experience is, no experience is away from you, the consciousness. No experience leaves behind any trace on you, the consciousness. You are asangat. Anyway, so one who is essence of all experiences. That's called anubhuti, anyway. And then last one, yaccha asya santatah bhavaha. At root is there in sense of santata bhava. Means one who stays, atati iti atma, one who stays forever, never never goes away or never undergoes any change. One who stays forever. Not subject to past, not subject to future. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra smat kruta krutat, anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, yattat pashyasi tadvada. I want to know about the Atma which is anyat. Anyatra means anyat. Bhutat anyat. Bhavyat anyat. Which is distinct from the past, which is distinct from the future, which is always in the form of present, which is always in the form of existence, not future existence, not past existence. You cannot use word was and will be for Atma. Atma is, is. That's called Sat, right? Is, which will never become is not. Which will never, that's how Satyam. Trikalepi tishtati. When we say, then we generally think, oh, it was in the past and it will be in the future and like that. But generally, we should not say that way, which is not available for negation, being existent. Negation means non-existent. No. Yeah. Other than I, which is mithya, which is non-separate from my I, वो तो आता है, जाता है. Time, space, objects, entire world which derives existence from you comes and goes. And when it is there, also constantly changing, etc. So at santata bhavi, one who stays forever, never undergoes any change, not subject to past, future. Tatraiva, in that sense of the pratyega atma, tasmin arthe, atma shabdah vartate. Atma iti kirtyate. Kirtan means it is uchyate. Well, this has been said. Atma. So you can understand now four definitions here in the Linga Purana. One who pervades everything is Atma. One who sustains everything is Atma. One who experiences everything without, means one who is the essence of every, like the final experiencer. Okay, one who is the essence of all the experiences, or one who experiences without which no experience is possible. That that I am a final experiencer, ultimate experiencer, consciousness. And then lastly, one who stays forever, never undergoes any change, is Atma. So this is how this means said. So Rudi Artha of Atma is also Pratyak, because everyone says, whenever they say I, Atma means they show like this. So Rudi Artha also is a Pratyak. And in Vyutpatti Artha also, well, it is Pratyagatma only. So, so what is, generally construed meaning of Atma for people is not in keeping with the Shastra. Because everyone say, I am human being, I am 58-year-old, I am a seer, I am a hearer, I am hungry, I am having a good memory. I am the one who decides. I am the one who perceives. I am the one who is the individual. That is nowhere. That is nowhere in keeping with the Shastra. That is nowhere in keeping with your experience of fullness. If you are a body, if you are a mind, you are not full. You are a limited being. You keep aside that smallness. You keep aside that identification with the body in a deep sleep state, as well as in the state, in a waking state, when you are happy, you keep aside. That's how you become free from smallness momentarily. Could you follow? You as though disidentify with the body mind sense complex. That's how sometimes people laugh. They are not aware of themselves. When other person looks at his dantavali, and then the person becomes conscious. Oh, he's looking at my, and there is a gap there. Yeah, you are just yourself, true self, in a moment of joy. Not in this. In a deep sleep state also, you disidentify. The whole state of a deep sleep state for each and everyone having a one experience called joy. That's how Anandamaya, Prachuryarthe, Prachuryarthe, predominantly happy. Why the predominantly you say Ananda Swarupa? No, 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 ignorance is very much there. He is not able to claim I am Ananda, I am full. No, ignorance is very much there. Karana Sharira is there. Therefore, we say predominantly. Yeah, and that also undergoes a change. Means you get up and you that goes away. Experience of a joy comes and goes. Yeah. This is you have to know in a waking that I am of the nature of fullness, analyzing the experiences, all the three states, etc. Anyway, so this is how the construed meaning of Atma is not in keeping with the Shastra, is not in keeping with the Vitpatti, is not in keeping with your experience of that fullness, right? Experience of freedom. Okay. That is more than enough. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om